give Darla a good send-off. So, goodbyes are hard. Goodbyes are very hard when you work with somebody who's been as helpful and supportive and cooperative and friendly as Darla has.
Maybe not so much sometimes.
So we had Darla's 40th anniversary here about a month ago, and I was thinking most of us haven't been here 40 years, so all we know is Peterbilt with Darla. Kind of like the Queen of England. A lot of people in Britain, all they know is one queen. We only know one queen. Here she is. So I met Darla pretty much when I started. She was working release and I was doing REIs, and I remember her being real serious and real focused. And then kind of over time, I started hearing about Darla more like in a legendary sense. Somebody who could get things done, worked crazy hours, had amazing memory, could recall sales bulletins and truck numbers and option codes from 10 years ago. And then I got to work with her about 3 years ago, and it wasn't like I didn't believe all the hype and everything, but it wasn't until I got to work with her firsthand that I really understand what they all meant and how true all that was. I don't think I've ever worked with anybody as hardworking and as dedicated as she is. I would say to sum her up, she's driven. And you could say, well, that's because she works all the hours and she puts in all that time and goes the extra mile to get people what they want. Well, I think that's kind of what she does, but I think I'd rather describe her as she's driven to excellence, and all those things are the tools she uses to achieve excellence. In a few minutes, we're going to have a kind of a slideshow and we're eating cake and everything, and it's going to be some of the trucks that Darla has worked on over the years. Some of the pictures she sent me, but a lot of them I asked dealers for. So there's quite a few dealers that participated, sent me some photos, and you're going to see, kind of as I talked to in December, Darla is responsible for roughly $300 million of sales that she supported every year, and you're going to see some of that on the screen. So you'll see how grateful the dealers have been, how helpful they are, and how helpful Darla is to them and all the fruits of their labor. And we're also grateful for you, for all you've done for us, for all your hard work and all your helpfulness. I think we all owe you a debt of gratitude, me in triple, I think, because all the help you've given me. It's been a privilege to work with you. So, on behalf of Peterbilt and PACCAR, we want to congratulate you for many, many great years of outstanding service. Wish you many happy years of retirement. And from all of us, say thank you very much.
Thank you.
So along with that, we get a plaque for Darla, and I'm going to read it off. Presented to Darla Melton, your years of dedicated service and contributions to the success of PACCAR and Peterbilt Motors Company are sincerely appreciated. Congratulations on your retirement, December 14th, 1981 to February 1, 2022.
Wow.
And with my own money, I bought you down. Peterbilt watch also.
Maybe we should have got our alarm clocks. I don't think she knows that.
You want to do something? Yep.
Okay, now the embarrassing stuff. So, several months ago, I was talking to Darla, and she gave me one of the pet names that her husband has for her. And at that moment, I knew exactly what I was going to do. This is actually the clean pet name again. You guys don't worry. So her pet name, his pet name for her, and I think it's very fitting, guys. I think it is the most fitting name out there. His pet name is Little Miss Peterbilt.
He'll get a kick out of that.
You can imagine a lot of people want to have a few words about you, so.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Well, I had the I guess it's this. I've had the privilege to work with Darla my entire career. Had the extra special privilege to work for her back in 2003, 2004, doing the application stuff. And I learned so much from Darla in a very short period of time. And I'm in debt to you for that. But I also learned just some of Darla's little quirks. And I remember one specific time we just finished a spec review or a pilot, and there was something wrong with the spec. It was and she had that exact response. They're gonna fire me. We didn't fire her, but it nagged at her. She's such a perfectionist, that excellence that Bob talked about. It was nothing we didn't overcome. It was something. I hate to say it's trivial, but it was no big deal.
The transmission.
See, today, I wasn't going to say what it was. There's an axle ratio of a transmission, with direct drive.
It was
Something.
FR 5210.
What was the truck number?
It was eating her up. We back to my desk. I moved on to something else. Phone's ringing. I'm back to something else. It was eating her up. And, next thing I know, have you ever been by Dollar's Old Q? 3 ring binders of papers and documents, cabinets and stuff. And everything was quiet, and all of a sudden, cabinets start opening, binders coming out, papers are everywhere. She is looking for that piece of document that told her it was okay to do. That died down after about an hour. Back about an hour again, it starts up all over again. This repeats several times a day. I mean, I went through the day, finally just started ignoring it. It was going on over there. And then finally, near the end of the day, there was one binder that went down, and found it. She found a very yellowed, wrinkled, torn piece of paper on that approval of that. And right there, I knew that Darla's commitment to her job, her customers, she is just a servant person that helps anyone and everyone. And I took that away, and I'll take it the rest of my life. So thank you very much, Darla.
Okay. Well, I'll be brief. A couple of things you may have heard me say before about Darla. So first of all, Darla is like Madonna, right? You just need one name. No one's ever going to know your last name. But I'll tell you, Darla, I mean, just to be brief, I think you personify Peterbilt. What Peterbilt is and what we want it to be. Your dedication, your focus on the customer, and more importantly, what you do for the people around you. And that's fantastic. It's inspirational every single day to see. So thank you for everything you've done. I think we have something from engineering, right? It'd never be enough for what you've done for us, but hopefully you'll display that and or do morning weights with it. But again, thank you for everything you've done for us, for me, and obviously everyone you leave behind. So thank you.
Sales turn? Yeah.
Well, I need you to say something we can help us out. Come on, baby. So first of all, back our promise, Packer stock has just dropped about $10 today. We're dead. I'll start off as a little quiz here. Who's the most needy person in the world? Not your kids, not your dog, not some of your family members. Peterbilt sales. We're dead. Darla has helped us out, I mean, more than anybody could ever express, ever. I mean, I started here 25 years ago. I didn't know anybody in Peterbilt. I came from a different state, and I figured I gotta know the people that will help me get things done to be successful. One was Kaylin, because she was the heartbeat of getting trucks together. And you're the ones who taught me what a truck was, which I still don't really know. But we would go into back in the day, you know, pilot rooms and things. And our largest, biggest accounts, we were set up a lot differently, a lot smaller. We were a lot more interaction with big fleets. And Darla was always there. And we walk in the room, and there was Darla sitting. And back 25 years ago, it was a really heavily male-dominated industry. And they would look, and Darla would blow them away by the end of that class. It was great. She knew everything about every spec, about everything you do. And for that, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I'll tell a little story. She built a very specialized truck. My memory's so fading. It's with BJ Services in Sluggersby. And of course, it was super specialized, totally involved in the building of it. And we got to 2 years later, and I'm getting phone calls going, I think you guys were supposed to do this, you were supposed to do that. And I'm like, I don't know, I didn't have a file on it. I go, Darla, and she goes, you mean 748563? And she rolls back in her chair, gets in the stack of all this stuff, she goes, no, then we did exactly what we said. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, Darla, with all you've done for our sales, it truly was an honor to work with you, but you did more for our success, to grow our share with new accounts and legacy accounts more than you do. So, and you know that. You know that.
I hope so.
You do. You're a vital part of all of it.
Thank you.
So, we have a little plaque for you. You're gonna need a bigger house.
A trophy room.
A trophy room.
Yeah.
It tells a lot. There's a lot of smudges on it because everybody wanted to come see it. So I'm gonna let Dave read it because he was our wordsmith here.
He's a good wordsmith.
Yeah, he is a good wordsmith.
To Darla, congratulations on a terrific career and well-deserved retirement. Today we recognize and celebrate your exceptional support of the Peterbilt Sales Group, and thank you for your passion and tireless efforts. You embody the class that the Peterbilt brand represents, and through your actions have set a benchmark for all of us to follow. So, thank you.
So I haven't had the pleasure of knowing Darla as long as all of you. I've only known her for about a year, and she's made my first year here pretty easy. I mean, you're pretty low maintenance, you take care of everything. So I got to know a different aspect of Darla. And hopefully Bob and Reggie were right, because I'm going to share some deep, dark secrets about you that you shared with me, okay? So first of all, I don't know if you know this, but Darla is a big fan of Bruce Lee and Kung Fu. And after watching Fists of Fury, she went and eventually earned her 13th degree black belt, which I've since learned how she kept the sales guys and FedEx. Don't mess with Darla. Secondly, you know, despite popular rumor that there's this belief that the farthest that you've ever traveled is Sherman, Texas, I've learned from Darla that she has a love for traveling. And she was telling me about this time where she was parasailing in Barbados, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I have a fear of heights, you know, and I'm pretty impressed that you were able to do that. And so, you know, when she retires, you know, I've heard that you're going to go to the Maldives and, you know, Martinique and all of that, and your love of flying as well. But in all seriousness, thank you so much, Darla. It was a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you.
But I don't want to be redundant. All the good things. I could say all those things about Darla, but I think what I'll get into a little bit. You know, we talked about her passion for customers and everything, but I'll talk a little bit about how she does so one of the things I like about Darla, is how strong an advocate she is for customers. And it's one thing to just pound on the desk and say, my customers need this and do it. But Darla put a whole lot of thought behind it. And so Darla, when we would be talking about a customer, she would tell you a little bit more. She'd tell you a little bit about why they were trying to do something. And oh, by the way, this other customer did something similar. We did something kind of like that for them a couple of years ago. Is there any way we could try that? And so we just start loosening up the conversation a whole lot. And it really helped a lot of people as we're working. She would not only advocate for these things, and she knew right where to push and how to push to get what her customers needed, but she knew what to push for, the things that were really important to her customers. She would help with that. And then the other thing she did that was great is she followed up. So she would make sure that she kept us honest, and that we were really, hey, this thing we said we're gonna do, are we really doing that? I think it was Keenan, I think, almost like 15 years ago. I was working with her on a beacon light, and we went through all kinds of things about this beacon light mounting. I really didn't understand what they're even looking for. But Darla, she took the time, explained it, walked through why they were looking for this particular setup, why these 3 other setups wouldn't work, and it made sense. And then I said, okay, we'll do it. And then boom, everybody gets busy. 3 weeks later, she's calling, hey, how you guys doing on that? And and of course it got buried in a little pile, so I have to dig it right back out. But it's things like that are the difference. And so I really appreciate Darla, what she's done. She's such an advocate for our customers, and she's done great things for Peterbilt. She's helped us follow through, helped us do the right things for our customers, all those little details that they really want, the things that really make you shine. So, Darla, thank you very much.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna sneak up here before you're ready.
All right.
Yeah, so Matt talked about how good of an advocate for our customers that Darla is, and just amazing ability to articulate the needs and desires and wants of our customers.
Do it, damn it.
Yeah, that's right. And some of us had the pleasure of working with her and under her. Gary noted that a little bit. But there's a group of us that refer to ourselves as Darla's sons. And so we got together and took a picture of the group of us together. Now, it's not quite as weighty or hefty as all, but it's hard to explain what somebody means to you that knows the names of all your kids and cares about you as a person as well as your career. And so anyway, I, from the bottom of my heart and many of the other folks that are here, certainly appreciate that. So hope you take that with you.
So I did some checking on Darla, and as Bob said, she's always making sure she has things right. And you would think, well, maybe that just occurred in the last 10 years. Back in, I don't know, it was before I got here, and I got here in '93, they were talking about a PLR that Darla got, and one of the guys said he heard somebody over there sniffling. And it was, the extension wasn't even on the building or nothing, so he, a little bit later, he went and talked to the liaison supervisor, said, what's going on with Darla? Something going on? Well, she got a PLR. Well, this guy had only been here, a couple of months. He said, well, that's no big deal. This was like November. That's no big deal. I've already got 4 of them. That's her first one this year. The other thing that happens in liaison group, when she was working with the plants, if they were going to write her a PLR, they would go research it, and research it to make sure it was indeed her fault. Because nobody was going to go to Darla and say, you made a mistake, without knowing for sure that it was a mistake. So she's always been worried about not being perfect. And so, which somebody said, that's what our Peterbilt employees should be. We should always strive to be perfect. So, once again, Little Miss Peterbilt, which I thought was the best fitting name because you are. When's the last time you took a sick day? She can't tell you. She
I
can't
might have
tell you.
taken one since they've given us sick days, maybe.
What time did you come in this morning, Darla?
I got here at 4:30.
Okay, tomorrow's her last day. What time are you gonna be in here tomorrow?
4:30.
So, one last thing. We have a habit of blaming the person that leaves. We get to blame them on everything. We're gonna have to take an exception on this. I'm sorry, guys, we're just not gonna be able to blame them. So, I'm trying to make sure they don't claim anything
Thank you,
on
I
me.
appreciate that.
Good job.
All right.
I have one more from Jim Bigman, who couldn't be here today, but he asked me to read this. Darla, sorry I couldn't be there today for your last day of work. I think you are looking forward to it, but also dreading it. It will be fine, and starting a whole new chapter in your life can open other doors. So he has some suggestions. Things to do during the next few weeks. Stop worrying that you'll be blamed for all the issues that come up when you are gone. Stop worrying that there will be some spec coming in today that you won't be answering. Stop worrying about FedEx orders. You did your part at getting FedEx's business and helped keeping it for the past few years. Wade should pay you a pension in retirement for doing his work as the dealer that deals with FedEx. Stop worrying about tracking any errors that you thought you made over the past 40 years. You are as error-free as anyone I've ever worked with. Stop fretting that you won't be emailing anyone about orders at 3 a.m. You are the only person that I know that logs on and works from home before you leave for work in the wee hours of the morning, comes to work a full day, leaves, and gets home and logs in again to do more work. I've had the pleasure of working at Peterbilt for a long time and working with several people that made Peterbilt the class of the industry. You are certainly one of those people. I am very happy I was able to work with you for many years. I think of you as a sister and part of my family, as we have shared many things over the years, both good and bad. Take care and enjoy. Life is too short. Now have some fun and stop worrying. Jim. So before we open up to Darla, does anybody else want to say a few words?
I'm gonna put the piano in next.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say. It's hard to summarize 40 years of your life in a few minutes, and I'm blessed to have worked almost my whole working career here at Peterbilt. I was 23 when I started, and as a young woman from a small town, I found a place that Peterbilt allowed me to make that cliche, hard work does pay off, because I've been blessed with good bosses, good managers, good jobs. I've loved every one I've had. Anyway, Peterbilt has been a huge part of my life, and I'll be forever grateful for the incredible people that mentored me, challenged me, taught me, and put up with me. Parentheses, FedEx. I celebrate my success, longevity, and now my retirement.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. If you want to say congratulations, I'd say maybe come